These broadcasts get more and more hardcore is because the news is getting crazier. Events on this planet are accelerating. World government has openly been announced. The large 6 megabanks that control most of the planet's wealth and natural resources and populations through derivatives and fractional reserve banking fraud have maneuvered themselves into almost complete control over the globe. They are mopping up third world countries in Africa, Latin America, Eastern Europe, and areas of Asia, and of course the Middle East. They're mopping them up. The global government stratagem to take over countries is fund rebels that then attack the government, whether that government's good, bad, or indifferent, and then call it a humanitarian mission to send in special forces, arms, air bombardments. And then the goal is wreck the country and basically have no central government so that the West can come in with mercenaries and steal the entire resources of the nation. I mean, I have the New York Times here in Uganda last year going, oh, isn't it too bad that under UN rules, private mercenary groups went in and killed entire villages for their property, but it is for the earth. But do you see groups like Kony 2012? Do you see them running around getting upset about that? No. They cloak their mass murder. They cloak their eugenics. They cloak their extermination worldwide in humanitarianism. And I already knew all this, but since it was pointed out to me 5-6 days ago, now it's had like 100 million views, this Kony 2012 documentary, and now it's collapsed and blown up in their face as it comes out that the president of Uganda has been involved killing millions, that he is backed by the West, that Joseph Kony hasn't been seen in 5 years and only had 500 fighters and is a nobody, kind of like a Jesse James type, and that it all is a pretext funded by the State Department to attack Africa with AFRICOM, and the Pentagon announcing this new jurisdiction where it's going to attack and drone and kill whoever it wants. And the Pentagon doesn't work for us. It works for the big megabanks, just like NATO does. And there's a tsunami, unfortunate pun intended, of death over Africa that's UN and globalist financed.
Well, let's turn now to a video that has gone viral. You may have seen it, or at least seen the link. I know I watched it along with what was, by this morning, 70 million other people. It's a moving video and a well-produced one at that. Here's a clip of this.
For 26 years, Kony has been kidnapping children into his rebel group, the LRA. Turning the girls into sex slaves. And the boys into child soldiers.
All right, so according to the group's website, the group that makes this is called Invisible Children. Kony 2012 is a film and a campaign by Invisible Children that aims to make Joseph Kony famous, not to celebrate him, but to raise support for his arrest and set precedent for international justice. Now, most people agree that Joseph Kony is a very bad man. But the film advocates for more U.S. involvement and direct military action. President Obama has already sent in 100 combat troops to try to help get rid of Joseph Kony, which is, in no uncertain terms, the U.S. government using resources to take down and possibly kill a man in another country. Now, we want to talk about some of the implications of the release of this video and do some reading between the lines with war correspondent Keith Harmon Snow. Hey there, Keith. Let's talk about this. 70 million viewers and counting. Kony 2012 is already the fastest growing social media video campaign we've ever seen. Your thoughts on this?
Well, this is absolute propaganda, Christine. Not only is it full of lies, it's simplistic, and it's directing the American public to support further military action in Africa, where we are already there.
What are you say that this film is full of lies? What is not true about the film?
For example, that Kony has 30,000 children in his army. This is not true. Over the last 26 years of Kony's military actions against the government of Uganda, there have been supposedly 30,000 children abducted. Who abducted them is not clear, because Museveni, the president of Uganda, is responsible for genocide in northern Uganda, and he needs Kony to be able to justify continuing U.S. support and military support, and now sending in troops, which we've been doing for quite some time, Savimbi. So Kony is kept there to serve the interests of the United States and to serve the interests of the Ugandan government, because as long as they have a bogeyman to claim is creating these atrocities, Museveni can shed the blame for the genocide against 2 million Acholi people onto this guy Joseph Kony, and he can always ask the United States and the Pentagon for more military hardware, more aid, which is converted to military hardware, and more troops, and that's exactly what they've done.
I mean, I think that this criticism has been launched not just by you, but by a whole lot of people. If the U.S. government wanted to find him, they could. It is, after all, 2012. We have brilliant intelligence officers out there. I mean, there have been a lot of criticism unleashed against this film since it went viral a couple days ago. One of the complaints also is that Joseph Kony hasn't even been in Uganda for the last 6 years. Invisible Children has also been criticized for, only giving a third of their money to actually helping children in Uganda.
Dislike for this whole Stop Kony campaign. The reason why that I'm against it is because, well, I think it's a bunch of bullshit.
You have never seen me. I'm a human being like you.
This video has like millions and millions of views, and it's about Uganda and Kony. So I asked my mom, and my mom laughs and goes, he died like 5 years ago.
I'm a freedom fighter who's fighting for freedom in Uganda. But I'm not a terrorist.
I asked my dad, and he's laughing about it, and he goes, why are we talking about this? And the reason why is because Kony's army group formed 22 years ago, when my parents still lived in Uganda, and they haven't struck again in 6 years. Why is this video being put out now? And there's also rumors that Kony's dead and that he's not in Uganda. So if we have military groups looking for Kony in Uganda, but he's not in Uganda, what are we doing?
You have been accused of terrible crimes. People having their ears cut off, people having their lips cut out.
That one is not true. That is propaganda which Museveni made.
I've seen the photos of people with no lips.
Yes. That is propaganda which Museveni made. Let me tell you, that thing was happening in Uganda. Museveni went in the village and he cut the ear of the people, telling to the people that thing was done by LRA, which is not true. I cannot cut the ear of my brother. I cannot.
Are you saying that the LRA have never been involved in any abductions, any mutilations, any rapes?
Yes.
They've never been involved?
LRA has never been involved on that part.
So before you go out and you're like, Stop Kony 2012, and change your Facebook profile picture and make all these tweets about Kony, you should probably educate yourself. I mean, you shouldn't base it off of one YouTube video that a guy makes $90,000 a year for making these videos. He doesn't make it because he flies around the country and feels bad and decides he's gonna sit at home and make this fantastic video to hope to make the world a better place. No, he is making a great living off of this.
The actual president of Uganda has been involved in genocides of over 7 million people. And I predicted that they would invade Libya, that they would invade Uganda, that they would go after all of these different organizations. And that has now happened. And when I saw the group Invisible Children with all these movie stars and all these groups come out with basically a pro-war, pro-invasion call, and their film got 37 million views in just 3 or 4 days, and I saw the State Department behind it, and all this propaganda, and members of Congress pushing it, I knew that something was going on.
Why is the U.S., which is already involved in 2 long wars, deploying troops now?
It goes back to one thing: oil. Let's remember, Uganda has oil. It changes the calculus always with U.S. foreign policy when it's a country that is seen to be rich with its resource that's become almost an addiction for the U.S. and the global economy.
I have two words for you: predator drones. You will never see it coming.